Let's begin to dive into more details for the anatomy, starting with the glottis. We've actually already found where the glottis is. Remember that previous exercise we did before to find our vocal folds? Well, do that same thing and you found your glottis. You see here in the picture on the right where my mouse is, there is this oval here. It's actually a circle. We look at the left here, this shows where the larynx is. Now if you go around 1/3 of the way down the larynx, the cross section here is what houses the vocal folds, and that cross section is the glottis. So as we can see here with an extended version, with this being the front and this being the back, here are your vocal folds. This picture shows everything you need to know. So here in white are the vocal folds or vocal cords. Both words are used interchangeably. And you can see the glottis is indicated here. The glottis, as we said before, can refer to this cross section that houses the vocal folds. It also can refer to this black section here, which is the space between the vocal folds. As you can see in this picture on the top, on the left, it says open. This is when the glottis is open. And here we say the glottis is closed. When the glottis is open, the scientific word is the vocal cords are abducted. And they're open like that, they're abducted like that so you can breathe. And then when they're closed, the vocal cords are adducted. And they're closed like that when we need to speak, so they come together to vibrate and make sound, or when we want to sing. The picture on the top, as you see, is more detailed. It shows you where all the parts are and where they lie in relationship to one another. But you don't really need to know all of these details. If you'd like to know your vocal mechanism to its fullest extent, I've included some apps that have more details in the resources. But what you really need to know is these simple pictures in the bottom from A to F. You can see the vocal folds are represented just by one line, and in some of them they come together nicely, like in A, and in some of them they don't, like in B or D, or when they're completely open, like in E or F. And then you can see these triangles as well can be oriented in many different ways. This triangle, as we saw before here, is the arytenoid cartilage. This arytenoid cartilage moves on this dotted path and can help your vocal cords come together better. Now, we don't need to know exactly how that happens, but when we get into onset, you'll see how this helps, because when we work on onset, your vocal folds can come together nicely like they do in A and make good sound, or they can not and make one of these breathier sounds. Keep that in mind, and in future lectures we will reference this. When you're ready, let's move on to the next lecture.